You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14 News.
Right now at 7, severe weather made its mark over the weekend. We'll have some details on its impact in our area.
Also, several Joplin women came together to celebrate and support one another.
And our weather much calmer today as we'll start to see a little more sunshine out there. More storms, though, possible this week. Take a look at that forecast. Get you out the door. Coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Elise Noe.
And I'm Chris Warner. It is just after 7, almost 7:01 on this Monday morning.
Monday.
And boy, this weekend was rough.
It really
I
was.
took some notes. So between Friday and Sunday, 157 tornado reports across the Midwest, and 11 of those over a 2-day span were in our area. So we're going to have more on that. We're going to recap those storms and then get you out the door with this morning's forecast, which looks a lot better for us today. And some of that's damage, of course. Again, those supercells repeated their course over that 2-day weekend in the same areas. Saw tornadoes 2 days in a row, including folks in Wilson County.
Yes, and Wilson County is one of the many areas, as Chris mentioned, to see damage following last weekend's storms.
KOAM's Samantha Walker has more on how the community was impacted.
I was out on this side of it watching it and turned around just ahead of it as it was coming, like I say, within about a half a mile of the community here.
Community members of Fredonia say they are grateful after tornadic activity narrowly missed the main part of town. But Wilson County still saw damage from the storms, including damaged roofs and torn up trees.
Rolled over an aluminum horse trailer, took a couple of grain bins, hit the house and tore part of the roof off the house and part of the barn wall out.
The Wilson County Emergency and Floodplain Manager says the area also needs to be aware of flooding concerns. He says area reservoirs are expected to be up 10 feet.
We've got floodwaters in the area. Roads are pretty rough. The gravel roads, they've been washed across. Some of them are pretty narrow. Notified by dispatch this morning that local railroad had notified them that their track had been washed out. I was just out there.
He says while the storms could have proved to be much worse for the area, it did showcase the need to have a safety plan.
When you think that a storm may be forming and stuff, be prepared to go somewhere so that if it does develop into a tornado that you're ready.
Reporting in Wilson County, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
Wilson County officials say they believe water levels in the area to be receding, but urge the community to still be cautious.
Yeah, we still have a number of flood warnings across the area as well. We're going to talk about all of that with this forecast. We're going to start first with a look at MoDOT cameras around the metro area. We had some patchy fog this morning. In fact, as we mentioned on the KOAM side, earlier this morning, the 20th Street camera and the 7th at Garden Grove, you couldn't see anything. That's how dense the fog was, but it is beginning to clear out there. Still some patchy fog as well south of Pittsburgh on the KDOT camera, but again, still significant improvements, but dense fog still an issue. Take a look at Chanute, 0.8 of a mile of visibility, just under a mile and a half there in Pittsburgh. Joplin is clearing out, but as you head further south of I-44, Mount Vernon, Cassville, Anderson, Bentonville, Grove, you've got to make sure that you are ready for some potentially dense fog. And dense fog advisories continue for Missouri until 9, Oklahoma and Arkansas through 10 o'clock this morning. As we mentioned, the flood warnings across the area. Now, these ones are River Creek Stream flood advisories. They're localized to those areas that they are flooding at this time. The ones that encompass entire counties are aerial flood warnings, meaning that there's a number of low-lying locations that are likely flooded. So if you know your commuting route takes you through a flood-prone area, change that route. Turn around, don't drown, and be on the lookout. With the amount of rain we saw this weekend, some areas that maybe don't traditionally flood could be flooded, so be prepared for that as well. Here's a look at all those storm reports across the area. The tornado reports over 2 days into southeastern Kansas, large hail and wind damage on the Missouri side. A very rocky weekend for sure. 53 in Joplin, 50 in Pittsburgh. Again, beginning to improve out there. Got a weak cold front, triggered some thunder showers in Kansas this morning. Those have died out, but did leave us a little cooler, upper 40s. And as you get ahead of the front, still upper 50s to to around 60 in Bentonville right now. Through today, sunny skies, north breeze about 5 to 10, and temperatures not too bad, mid-upper 70s. As I mentioned, though, thunderstorms will return to our forecast beginning tomorrow. We'll have all the details on that in the full forecast here in a few more minutes. Elise?
All right. Thanks, Chris. Well, last week's rain has brought flooding to the 4 states. As Chris mentioned, and that flooding has led to one school district closing today. The Fort Scott School District announced yesterday that there will be no school due to the flooding in the city. They had encouraged everyone to stay safe. Fort Scott Community College posted that they will resume normal hours. Joplin authorities are blaming the rainy conditions for a semi-truck jackknifing onto the median of Highway 249. It happened just before 5 Sunday morning, just north of I-44. Authorities say the semi was traveling south with a 13,000 pound load when it went onto the median. It didn't block traffic and no one was injured. At least 3 people were killed, including an infant, after a tornado outbreak in Oklahoma Saturday night. The National Weather Service reported that a number of large and extremely dangerous tornadoes were on the ground. 2 deaths occurred in Holdenville and the 3rd near Marietta on Interstate 35. Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt issued an emergency disaster declaration, and he will be touring storm damage in the Murray County towns of Sulphur and Holdenville. Well, Saturday, protesters gathered in downtown Joplin, walking up and down Main Street. They were protesting the death of 2-year-old Cleslin Crawford, who was killed in March 2022. Cleslin was killed during an incident in which several area law enforcement agencies responded. The 2-year-old was shot by a Joplin Police Department officer who has only been identified as Sniper 1. Protesters are asking for the name of the officer who shot Cleslin to be released.
The protest is just to let the community know, because when you go around and you ask people if they know about the story, 90% of them say no, But if another civilian was to gun down somebody, accident or not, it would be known all over. So we just want justice.
The family of Cleslin says they will continue to try and bring public attention to the story until the name of the officer is released. Women in Joplin Saturday were encouraged to come together for a garden party and to support a good cause. KOAM's Samantha Walker has more on how the event allowed women to celebrate each other, all while supporting women in need.
200 women of all ages have come together for a garden party where they're encouraged to wear their best dresses and hats for the occasion. The annual Blooms of Hope event supports women and children at the Washington Family Hope Center in Joplin.
It could be a domestic situation, it just could be homelessness, it could be job loss, it could be addiction. There are just a lot of different situations that moms find themselves in. And the great thing about Washington Family is moms can stay with their kids. They're no longer separated. They stay together as a family while mom is getting a plan for her life.
The event features curated experiences meant to help women of all ages relax and enjoy themselves. Activities included charcuterie boards, massages, and even shopping at local boutiques. Stores at the event, like the Two of a Kind boutique, donated a portion of their profits to the Washington Family Hope Center.
It's very inspirational, especially for us young girls. We like to see all the women come together as a whole and be united as one, supporting each other.
Attendees and organizers both say the Blooms of Hope event is a great way for women to support other women. They say it can bring you closer not only to your loved ones, but also your community.
For the girls, ladies, and their children and their grandparents and children to get together and raise money for women and families at the Washington Family Hope Center. These women need extra help, and we're here to hopefully give some money for them to get that.
Reporting in Joplin, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
This was the 4th year for the Blooms of Hope benefit. Organizers say they plan on continuing it for years to come. Coming up next, Lori's back with her recipe for a lemon meringue cake. Welcome back. We have Lori with us this morning, and she's been showing us her recipe for a lemon meringue cake. Now, we left off baking our lemon cake.
Yes.
What are the next steps to complete this dish?
Okay, so now we have to make that meringue topping. We started out with that super simple cake base. It was just the angel food cake, just the dry mix, and a can of lemon pie filling, and then we made the juice of 1 whole lemon and added a little bit of that zest. And it's an extra step, but it's totally worth it. It makes the difference. So what I've got here is about 4 egg whites, large eggs always in here, and I've got them really nice and frothy. So I'm going to make a little noise. Turn this on and start to add a little bit of white sugar slowly. And once I get all of that in there, I've got about a ½ cup, little dash of vanilla. And then we're just going to whip this until it really looks like, essentially it looks like meringue. We all have that picture in our head.
Classic meringue.
Yeah, nice and bright white. We're going to go up a notch here. Get ready. Get ready. It doesn't take very long. Surprising how easy meringue is to make. So,
and now what are you looking for here? Are you looking for soft peaks?
We really want stiff peaks. We want to go ahead and go full meringue because we don't want to have to bake it for very long. The cake is baked, so we don't want to dry that out or, add too much extra oven time to that. So right now we're at about soft peaks. You've got a good white base to it. So I'm going to go a little bit longer. It does, and it smells so good. You love that topping. That's the best part of lemon meringue pie.
It really is. It's
so
a perfect spring into summer dessert.
It really is. The one thing to keep in mind is it's one thing you want to always make fresh. So you can make the cake up the night before, wrap that up, pop it in the fridge. That's exactly what I did last night. But you want to wait and top it with that meringue the next day. So we're just getting this a little bit stiffer. He's not going to cooperate. It's still a little bit humid today, so he's going to take a little bit longer for us. But keep that in mind. Meringue is so temperamental to the weather. Anytime you're working with egg whites, don't get frustrated. Give them that extra time when it's a little humid or a little rainy. They're going to take it. So we'll stop there. We've got kind of a soft peak going. And basically, we would take that, we would top our whole cake with that, a really nice, generous layer, because you don't want to skimp when it comes to that meringue.
You just lather it on there with
you
the
can really
spatula.
can. And then, take the back of a little spoon, kind of make those little peaks, kind of like your classic pie topping. And then, just to make it easy, you can pop this back in the oven for about 10 minutes. A little higher rack, so your top, is going to get a little browner. With this, you really want to stick with bake. You don't need to go quite that quickly. With the pie, you've got a thicker meringue. This is a thinner layer, so we don't have to go quite so heavy duty on the temperature. About that 350, 400 degrees. Just raise your rack a little bit, and that will brown so nicely on top and just look like a perfect meringue cake. And it's moist, it's lemony, it's perfect, and it's just something a little bit different.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you so much, Lori. We'll be right back.
Together, let's drive.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 7:17 on this Monday morning. A look at MoDOT cameras around the metro area. Again, greatly improving visibility across Joplin. We had some pretty dense fog to start our day, and skies beginning to clear out there. Still some patchy fog here south of Pittsburgh from the KDOT camera on 69, but as you can see, the sun is shining, and the fog will continue to burn off as we go through the morning. Dense fog still around Chanute, Pittsburgh, and then along and south of I-44, so Mount Vernon, Cassville, Bentonville, Anderson, Grove. So if you're traveling this morning, especially in our southern counties, be aware of that fog. And we have the dense fog advisories that do continue for our Oklahoma and Arkansas through 10 a.m. and for Missouri until 9 o'clock this morning. We also have a number of flood warnings across the area. The ones that follow these paths are the River Creek stream flood warnings, and then the ones that encompass entire counties are aerial flood warnings, and that means that there are multiple low water crossings that are likely flooded out there from all the rain that we received. So again, if you know your commute takes you on a flood prone path, make sure you are planning an alternate route. And with all the rain we received, your route may not normally be susceptible to flooding, but you do need to be prepared to turn around, don't drown, in case you come across high water anywhere in the area. And take a look at these rain amounts since Friday. This is in southwestern Bates County. Off our little scale, it stops in the dark gray at 10 inches. That's because that's nearly a foot of rain in 3 days. Now, this is where those supercells continue to train through the weekend and bring multiple tornadoes out there to parts of southeast Kansas as well. And these rain amounts anywhere from 5 to 8 inches in some cases. Other areas anywhere from 3 to 7 inches of rainfall over the last 3 days across the area. That's why we have so many flooding concerns. All right, our camera 7 in range line. Again, still some clouds to the east, but skies beginning to clear. It's 53 in Joplin, getting behind that weak cold front. Now, that cold front relatively weak, kind of positioned right along I-44 right now, so it's impacting our morning temperatures, not significantly, but it's still pretty chilly. Upper 40s in parts of southeast Kansas. Ahead of the front, though, upper 50s, right around 60 in Bentonville right now. As we get our morning underway, again, the clouds, fog will clear, will be sunny, and about 68 by 11 o'clock this morning, ahead of highs into the mid to upper 70s across the area. Sunny skies and a nice north breeze at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. Clear through the evening and overnight. Temperatures falling back tonight into the mid to upper 50s out there. And then, as I mentioned, we do have that possibility of some strong, potentially severe thunderstorms tomorrow evening. And then again, about midday Wednesday, we have a low to elevated risk for some of us, especially into southeastern Kansas, where you do not need any more severe weather. Unfortunately, it is a distinct possibility. Most of our Tuesday, we are sunny and warm. It won't be until the evening hours. By about 6, 7 o'clock, we'll see showers and thunderstorms pushing into southeast Kansas and eventually into Oklahoma. And some of these, again, could be strong, possibly severe. The first batch expected to fizzle out, and then by about midnight or so, we'll see redevelopment overnight and could see some additional strong, potentially severe storms early Wednesday morning. Of a few showers to start the day Wednesday by our morning commute, and then by late morning, early afternoon, additional showers and thunderstorms. And again, some of those could be strong, possibly severe. And then we clear out behind that and warm up once again. So we're going to be in the 80s tomorrow and Wednesday, breezy tomorrow as well. More storms on Friday, Thursday, a little cooler on Friday. Not a bad Saturday, near 90 by Wednesday of next week with additional thunderstorm chances. That's checking your forecast. We're back with more right after this.
Only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
Welcome back. If you are looking for some amazing treats that are going to help a great cause, it is a fantastic cause, then you need to look into the Lions Club Bake Sale happening this weekend. Lori Horton, changing a little bit, new decor there. Yeah. Member and organizer of the Bake Sale is with us this morning to share what sweet treats you're going to encounter when you stop by. So welcome back.
Thank you.
I don't think we've ever had you in a chair.
Not lately.
Not lately. A little different here. So tell us a little bit about what's getting ready to happen.
Well, this is our semi-annual fundraiser, and we do this twice a year, and this is one of our major events that really sustains our fundraising so that we're able to continue all of our efforts within the community to help folks within the Lions Club. It's very important.
And what kind of programs does the Lions Club support?
So, of course, Lions will always be known for vision, and we are the champions of helping people make sure that they have not only good eyesight, but healthy eyes. And so we make sure that those folks in need have eye exams and can help them with glasses of any age, because let's be honest, regardless of your circumstances, you will never be successful without good vision.
That's very, very true. Very, very true indeed. I know that's something they bring up a lot with kids, especially. That's when you start to notice those vision problems in the classroom. They start having some learning
difficulties. That's right. And the Lions have always done screenings for younger kids as well, so it's so very important. But there are a lot of causes that we support. We have band scholarships, environmental programs. The Lions are wide-reaching. So one of our slogans is, where there's a need, there's a lion, and it's very true, and we try and keep those very local.
And in terms of items, what can people expect at the bake sale?
Well, it's a wide variety because all of our members donate for this event. So you're going to have cakes, pies, cookies, cupcakes, just all sorts of wonderful treats that are all freshly made from all of our members to help support that sale. So there's going to be something for everybody, I promise.
I think everything you listed is for everybody there. I don't know if anybody's going to say no to any of those things. So in order for you to be able to get there and say yes, when is this, where is this, and what do people need to know?
We are at Meadowbrook Mall in Pittsburgh. We'll be at that north entrance right between Del Rio and the Mall Deli. Great spot. We will be open from 4 to 6 on Friday and from 10 to 2 on Saturday, and that is this weekend, so great time to come out. Just pick what you need and we'll keep going until we sell out. Hopefully we'll run out on Saturday.
And you also have a drawing and a prize that goes along with all this, as if the good treats weren't enough.
If for some reason you can't find something that just really catches your eye with that, we will also be doing a raffle, and that is going to be for $400 towards a stay at Great Wolf Lodge in Kansas City. So great staycation, great place to take the kids with that water park. It's an awesome spot. So if you haven't had an opportunity to go up there, it's up by Legends and by the racetrack. So there's a lot of stuff to do in that area.
That sounds like a fantastic opportunity. So you get some sweet treats. You have an opportunity to win a little stay. Nice getaway there as well. And even more importantly, you're supporting a great cause, a great organization that's supporting our communities.
That's right.
All right, Lori, thank you so much. And of course, if you missed any of that, don't worry, it's going to be on our website a little later, KOAMnewsnow.com. We will be back, and remember, this is the Lions Club Bake Sale this Friday and Saturday at Pittsburgh's Meadowbrook Mall. We'll be right back.
Hop in and get your Mother's Day gift. Remember, everything grows with TLC.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:30. I'm Elise Noe. Carthage Council of the Arts Sunday hosted an American History through music event. The purpose of the event was to share and preserve the story of America through various performances. Sunday's event was created by singer and composer Cecilia Otto.
I want the community to come and enjoy the show for what it is, which it's American history through the art form of music. And I hope that takeaway, you know, there's a few kids in there right now, and I hope that they walk away learning a little bit something about the roots and about where we came from as America and the cultures that shaped us to become what we are today.
The show was free and open to the public. Joplin residents Sunday hit the pavement for a 5K to support scholarships for Missouri Southern students. The run with the Pride 5K was created by Mercy Sports Care to honor Lori Flugg, a Mercy employee who passed away from cancer nearly 20 years ago. Now the event is organized by Missouri Southern students majoring in sport and recreation management and exercise science, with proceeds benefiting sports medicine students.
It's a big deal for me because the students in the class have spent all semester working on it, and it's really cool to see it all come to fruition and be able to see all the hard work that they put in, and for the students to see that, hey, what we do for class assignments is actually done in the real world.
The theme for this year's event was Sport Jersey Run. Well, some Pittsburgh residents took time before the storms rolled in to do some running. The Dylan Meyer Get Busy Living Foundation Saturday morning hosted a 5K run and friendship walk. The run was kicked off by Dr. David Hurter, who's only missed one of the foundation's 5Ks. There was also a kids fest with activities including an obstacle course, a track shot station, and fun zone. The money raised from the event supports scholarships for area students.
I just got into running last year after a long bout of not doing anything, and between like my kids being young and wanting to have more energy, and knowing what Dylan Meyer stood for, service, loving his community. You know, I love Pittsburgh. I've lived here almost my whole life, so I decided to come out and do it.
This is the 14th year the foundation has hosted the 5K. Well, new funding is going to help build a big attraction in the city of Sapulpa, Oklahoma. The Route 66 Park will be built near Highway 66 and Rock Creek. Lucy Lawson with the city says their goal is to develop and draw visitors to Route 66 since it's not traveled as much. The city now owns a portion of the Mother Road, and they're working on a dewy streetscape as a part of its downtown revitalization project. The original phase of the park will feature murals for people to enjoy different walking paths, benches, and photo opportunities. Lawson tells us the city has high hopes for what the future will hold.
And we've had to contend with some patchy, dense fog out there. Still have some dense fog out there around Independence, Chanute, Anderson, Mount Vernon, Cassville at 0.7 of a mile visibility. Bentonville reporting 0. So if you are traveling, again, be aware of the fog out there. And dense fog advisories continue. Missouri until 9, Arkansas and Oklahoma until 10 this morning. And again, we have those flood warnings out there. So again, if you know your commute route takes you to a flood-prone area, make sure you plan an alternate route. But with all the rain we receive, which, by the way, some locations nearly a foot of rain in 3 days. Maybe your route doesn't usually flood, but it might be. So remember, turn around, don't drown. Also, take a look at all these severe weather reports. 2 days of tornadic supercells across parts of southeastern Kansas in the same areas. Hail reports, wind damage reports, just all sorts of severe weather this past weekend. Thankfully today, considerably calmer. We are sitting at 53 in Joplin, 50 in Pittsburgh. Fog continuing to clear south of Pittsburgh as well. Temperatures around the region, we had a weak cold front push through, set off some thunder showers in Kansas this morning. Those are long gone. A little cooler though, upper 40s and low 50s. Ahead of the front though, still upper 50s, low 60s. That front will not have a significant impact. Will have no impact on our daytime highs today. Clouds will clear, fog will clear, sunny skies, north breeze about 5 to 10. We're looking at highs into the mid to upper 70s out there. So an absolutely beautiful day. However, thunderstorm chances return by tomorrow evening, as does the threat for some strong, potentially severe storms. We'll have details on that in the full forecast here in just a couple more minutes. Elise?
All right, thanks, Chris. And now to look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOA Morning News. A Wisconsin middle schooler is receiving praise for his bravery after his bus driver loses consciousness.
Ordinary.
Well, it's a ready, set, go time for the Mother Road Mayhem Show presented by Coltrane this weekend. Tyler Degonia, one of the event organizers, is with us to share all about the excitement. Welcome, Tyler. Thank you so much for being with us this morning. So can you talk to me a little bit about what the Mother Road Mayhem event is in Neosho, Missouri?
Mother Road Mayhem is a lifted, lowered truck, car, Jeep, and side-by-side show with lots of action. We have monster trucks, pit bikes, burnouts. You name it, it's there. We have thousands of vehicles expected to show up for this event, thousands of spectators. It is a family-friendly event. Kids, all ages are welcome. The monster trucks is a big thing for the kids, especially the pit bike races. Absolutely. They like to see those lifted trucks and stuff.
Wonderful. And so, I mean, you said it, mentioning a family event. How long has this event been going on for?
So this is the 4th year event.
Okay.
A friend of mine, Robbie Bryan, owned it 2 years ago. I bought it from him about a year ago. So this is my 2nd year owning the show.
Wonderful. So along with the monster trucks, the other automotive vehicles, can you talk to me a little bit about just the events going on and what people can expect to see when they come out?
So with the pit bike races, that's a new thing we added this year. There's a $6,000 payout with that. We're also doing the monster trucks. We've got Bad Decisions and another old square body truck coming out. We'll have the Burnout Pit, which is sponsored by Jesse James Tire. We'll also have a dyno for anybody that wants to come out, put their vehicle on the dyno, and that's by Blessed Performance. We'll have a mud pit, so if you want to come out, bring your vehicle through the mud pit, you're more than welcome to. There's all sorts of fun though there for everybody all weekend long.
And is there specific registration to bring your vehicle out for the mud pit? Can you talk to me a little bit about tickets and even the campsites that we were discussing?
All tickets can be found on our website at motherroadmayhem.com. We have a bunch of listing prices for that. Standard registration for a vehicle is a standard lot ticket. Okay. You can do a premium registration, which puts you in the premium lot, and the VIP, which is our booth vehicles only. And then for the spectators, we have multiple different fees and choices for that they can choose between a one-day or a weekend.
Absolutely. And then it starts on Friday into Sunday. Can you talk to me about specific times for certain events and the location of the event as well?
So all of our times can be found on our timeline on our website as well. At 2 o'clock, we'll be doing our ATV Big Air Tour Stunt Bike Show, which is the largest event for the weekend, I guess I should say.
Yes.
These guys tour all over. They're very awesome, very kid attractive. So at 2 o'clock, that is on our major event. Friday at 2 o'clock, it's open to spectators. At noon, vehicles can come in. Saturday, the following times for that would be 9 and 10 for the spectators. Like I said, you might have to double check me
Absolutely.
on the timeline. Yeah, so pretty much all weekend long we have it's open all day except for Friday. You know, it just doesn't open till noon.
Wonderful. Exciting. Well, thank you so much for being with us. And remember, Mother Road Mayhem is this Friday at 2 p.m. and you can visit their website, motherroadmayhem.com, for more information. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Together, let's drive.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 7:42 on this Monday morning. Again, a much calmer day for us ahead of additional thunderstorm chances. We're going to get to all that in a moment. First, a look at the fog tracker. Still some patchy fog around Independence. The densest fog really right along and south of I-44. Bentonville down to 0.2 of a mile visibility. Cassville, Anderson, Mount Vernon dealing with some reduced visibilities as well. And we still have fog advisories for Missouri until 9 a.m. and for Oklahoma and Arkansas until 10 o'clock this morning. Flood warnings across the area. We've been mentioning it all morning. If you know your commute route takes you through a flood-prone area, you need to plan a different route. Just straight up, don't even chance it. Don't even consider your normal route if you are under a flood warning or your route is impacted, because you're not going to be able to get through, because I'm going to tell you why. Look at all of these rain totals that we saw. Southwestern Bates County, nearly a foot of rain within 3 days. Where those supercells and those tornadic storms continued to train over the weekend, anywhere from 5 to 8 inches of rain. In some locations getting close to 10 inches of rain out there. And outside of that, a number of areas anywhere 3 to 5, 3 to 6 inches of rain in 3 days. So again, turn around, don't drown. Make sure you are planning accordingly for your Monday commute. 53 in Joplin right now. Skies continuing to clear. The fog continuing to burn off out there. Got that weak cold front, set off a few scattered showers this morning in southeastern Kansas. Those have died out. It kept us cooler in southeastern Kansas and still a little chilly. Upper 40s, low 50s. And ahead of that front, which is almost right parallel to I-44, still some upper 50s, sitting at 61 in Bentonville. And while this front's cooling us down this morning, it'll have zero impact on our afternoon temperatures. The clouds, the fog will clear through the morning, 68 by 11. As we head into the afternoon, highs today, beautiful day. North breeze 5 to 10, temperatures mid-upper 70s, sunny skies. We're going to hang on to clear skies as we head through the evening and overnight. Mild through the evening, not too bad tonight, mid to upper 50s out there. And then, as I mentioned, we have to contend. We're in severe weather season, unfortunately. And we're not done with any of that yet. We have a low to elevated risk for strong, potentially severe storms for tomorrow and again for Wednesday. And unfortunately, primarily in the same areas that just got hammered this past weekend with those tornadic supercells is where we have that higher end risk, or at least that low to elevated risk for strong to potentially severe thunderstorms. So what are we looking at? Well, tomorrow it's going to be breezy. Most of our Tuesday is completely clear and quite warm into the 80s. And then by about 6, 7 o'clock, here come those thunderstorms into southeastern Kansas, northeast Oklahoma. Some of these strong, possibly severe. This first round expected to die out but just before midnight. However, additional thunderstorms are expected to develop behind that overnight and into the very early morning hours on Wednesday. Those could be strong, potentially severe as well. A few scattered showers initially Wednesday morning. By late morning, early afternoon, some additional redevelopment expected. Some of those could be strong to severe. By tomorrow, or by Wednesday evening rather, we begin to clear out and warm right back up into the 80s. So aside from the thunderstorm chances, again, most of our Tuesday clear and breezy, 80s tomorrow and Wednesday. More thunderstorm chances on Thursday. A little cooler Friday, not a bad Saturday, near 90 by next Wednesday with some additional thunderstorm chances. That is a check of your forecast. Now here's Elise with Consumer Watch.
All right, thanks, Chris. Well, the wealth gap between affluent millennials and their peers is the largest of any generation. A new study published in the American Journal of Sociology found baby boomers had 30% more wealth than the average millennial at the same age. But the top 10% of rich millennials have 20% more wealth than the richest baby boomers at the same age. Millennials have faced continuous financial difficulties, which has led to larger debts, unstable jobs, and lower levels of home ownership. American Airlines is forced to take some long-haul trips off of their roster, citing delays from airplane manufacturer Boeing. The company now expects to receive half of the Dreamliners they were initially going to receive. They said they're evaluating their schedule because of the 737 MAX delays as well. Airline officials say they will be reaching out to impacted customers to offer alternate travel arrangements. Some customers who bought Ring security systems with cameras will be eligible to receive refunds thanks to a privacy settlement. The FTC says it will send more than $5.6 million in refunds to about 117,000 buyers of Amazon's Ring systems. Last year, the FTC accused Ring of allowing employees and contractors to access customer videos. The agency adds Ring failed to implement security precautions to prevent hackers from taking control of accounts, cameras, and video. Those are our top stories for Consumer Watch this morning. Let's take a look at the market prices before the opening bell.
Looking for high quality and low price?
Today at 9, right here on Fox 14.
A Wisconsin 8th grader is now a hero thanks to his quick action on this school bus last Wednesday.
I noticed that the bus was beginning to veer in the oncoming lane and the bus driver was not responsive. That's when he jumped in and saved the day.
An anything but typical end to the school day, as a school bus dropped off students from Glen Hills Middle School Wednesday evening. The driver suffering a medical emergency. That's when 8th grader AC Holland III stepped in.
We was driving home. We were on 26 in Villard, and the bus driver turned on Villard, like on the street. I walked, see if she okay, and she ain't respond. So her foot was still on the gas. I scooted her over, moved her foot off the gas, and I just turned the wheel and pressed the brake at the same time.
The bus finally coming to a stop, AC quickly called 911. The bus driver was able to regain consciousness and help arrived.
First thing went through my mind is like, so wait, you drove a bus? And yeah.
AC's father tells me he wasn't surprised. Their family works on cars together. He's been teaching his son a lot about the ins and outs of mechanics.
He's an ace.
And Ace even coming to the rescue for us this evening. The 8th grader helping jumpstart our news car when the battery died. Skills he's learned and become confident with, putting them to the test.
I just proud of him.
His classmates also proud, calling him AC Hero during our conversation.
I'm just glad that I was able to get everybody home safe and make sure that everybody was okay.
Well, that was certainly impressive to see. Quick thinking on that young student's part. Oh my goodness.
You know, and you hear stories about this too, where these students, they're doing the right thing. I know a lot of kids in this generation get a bad rap sometimes, but there are still good kids out there that will do the right thing. That's another great example of that.
Absolutely.
And Mother Nature doing the right thing, at least briefly, giving us a pretty decent Monday out there. Let's start a quick look outside at temperatures. It's sunny. The fog is clearing. The clouds are clearing. 53 in Joplin, 52 in Pittsburgh. A weak cold front came through, gave us some showers in Kansas, also left us a little cooler. Upper 40s, low 50s. Ahead of the front, upper 50s, low 60s. But that front, no impact on our temperatures today. Upper 70s out there. Sunny skies, north breeze about 5 to 10. An absolutely gorgeous day after a tumultuous weekend. We'll have another look at your forecast and the news you need to know when the KOAM Morning News returns.
A four-state hero.
Well, here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Multiple people were killed in a tornado outbreak in Oklahoma Saturday night. The National Weather Service reported that several large and extremely dangerous tornadoes were on the ground. Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt issued an emergency disaster declaration. He'll be touring storm damage in the Murray County towns of Sulphur and Holdenville. Joplin authorities are blaming the rainy conditions for a semi-truck jackknifing onto the median of Highway 249. It happened just before 5 Sunday morning, just north of I-44. Authorities say the semi was traveling south with a 13,000-pound load when it went onto the median. No one was injured. Protesters gathered in downtown Joplin on Saturday. They were protesting the death of 2-year-old Cleslin Crawford, who was killed in March of 2022. Cleveland was killed during an incident in which several area law enforcement agencies responded. The 2-year-old was shot by a Joplin officer who had only been identified as Sniper 1. Protesters are asking for the name of the officer who shot Cleveland to be released.
And we've got a nice day out there after this rocky weekend. Sunny skies, mid-upper 70s, north breeze about 5 to 10 miles an hour. Clear skies continue through the evening and overnight, and we'll be back into the mid to upper 50s. However, again, we're watching that possibility for strong, potentially severe thunderstorms tomorrow evening and again midday Wednesday. Otherwise, our Tuesday is sunny and breezy ahead of those storms. 80s tomorrow and Wednesday. More storms Thursday, cooler Friday, pushing near 90 by next Wednesday, with additional thunderstorm chances.
Alrighty. Well, visitors to the Tokyo Metropolitan Government #1 building watched in awe as 100-meter tall Godzilla was projected on the building Saturday. The display marks the 70th anniversary since the birth of the fictional monster.
The radioactive monster is part of a projection mapping project at the Capitol City Hall, which has been taking place since February 25th of this year. Spectators will be able to see the digital Godzilla through May 6th. That is really cool.
I'm glad you think that that's cool, Chris. No, I'm kidding. It is really cool. It's quite impressive.
I see how it is.
Quite is.
I'll just leave again. How's that sound?
No, you can stay.
All right, fine. I'll stay. I tell you what, since we had so much fun putting the good into your morning, we'll be back today at noon.
Yes, we will. Until then, have a great rest of your morning.